What's up, everybody? Welcome to the KF Podcast, Avengers Endgame movie spoiler review. I want to say thank you for listening. If you just stumbled across us on the interwebs or your favorite podcasting app, check us out at KFpodcast.com and the KF Podcast and all your other social media needs. Also, check us out. We're on your favorite podcast app, streaming app. There's a lot of us here recording this right now. There's the normal crew. There's some not normal crew. There's
siblings. There's children.
There's families. There's friends.
Enemies of the show.
Enemies of the show.
Dogs and cats living together.
There's people in different states. So we're all here, and we're going to discuss it. But when we start to discuss our topic, we'll say our name first so you can kind of get the voices going.
And Justin, what is there in this whole show?
We are going to be giving spoilers.
This is all spoilers. Turn away now if you don't want to hear it.
Yeah, because there's no reason. It was good. There's your non-spoiler review.
Yeah,
get the hell
there's
out.
a non-spoiler. It's a big movie. It's really long.
So let's just start dissecting it and getting into it. But first, we'll do a little quick spoiler review. 2 sentences.
Yeah.
Two sentences.
Yeah.
2 sentences. Hi, my name is Brock. That's one. I like the movie. It's good. Move on.
I like oranges.
All right. So who wants to start it?
Let's start with Lance. We'll go around.
All right.
Lots of build-up, great resolution.
There you go. But here's the thing. He didn't waste one of his sentences on his name, so it was Lance.
Well, you said
I let you say it.
Yeah.
All right.
It was a good movie. It would be very hard to find things without nitpicking.
Okay.
Robert.
There was a lot of hype for this movie. It led up. I got a lot to say.
I feel like
I've got a lot to say.
That was 3 sentences. 3 sentences already.
I can't do it
Okay.
in 2 sentences.
You let your stupid kids talk?
Yeah, and let them tell you what they do. Go ahead, Logan. My son, Logan.
Alright, good overall, some confusing parts.
All right.
Looks like
Idiot.
I believe the same thing as Logan. My name is Alex, and I think the movie was super good.
All right, Paige.
Good scenes, good time.
All right,
That's all I got.
Levi.
Really enjoyed it. Definitely some things that I liked, some things I didn't, but overall, great film.
Okay. Justin.
I thought it was fantastic. It was an emotional, fun roller coaster.
Okay. I thought Ken will go last, I guess. I felt there were. I was not a fan of the time travel shit. The time travel stuff confuses me.
Oh, you're done. That's 2 sentences.
But the battle's great. It was a good payoff at the end. I was a little upset with some people they killed, but we'll get into the people that were killed and why and all that after.
My thoughts are, I liked it. It doesn't seem like an ending. It's definitely a beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For some people, it was an ending.
It was the end game.
All right.
Was the end game.
All right.
So let's just talk about some favorite moments. We'll throw some stuff out there before we get to it. What did everybody think about the way this movie began?
I liked it.
I liked it. It was good to establish that sort of pace, so you had something to grow to.
Yeah, the slow burn.
Were you shocked at the attack on Thanos right away and then the complete killing of him and all that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a surprise.
Well,
I think we called the beginning with Hawkeye.
Yeah, we called that beginning. We did. I also thought we called that Captain Marvel was going to save Tony in outer space.
Yeah, we did.
I think we called
Just not that way, though. I mean, it was... You really... If you didn't see the end credit scene in Captain Marvel, you had no idea what was happening at the beginning of this movie.
I feel like that's why they released it like last week. Because you
I didn't see that.
They released it on like YouTube or something that you can now
online.
watch it. Because I think people that might not have got that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that part was all out there. But yeah, I mean, it got it out of the way nice and fast, which was good. Rob, your thoughts on the beginning?
I liked how you definitely knew that it was going to be Hawkeye right away to really get into why it was there, because you got Scott Lang in Ant-Man and Wasp when they disappeared on him, but Hawkeye's part wasn't told.
You knew they were going to do all his kids too, and his wife.
Yeah, and it was like, right, you knew The only thing you didn't know is when it was going to happen and what his reaction was going to be, and I thought it set up perfectly for that.
Okay.
You know, I thought that was really good, and it did establish a pace that was like you got right into it, but you didn't necessarily get blown away right away. It
wasn't all action
It
all
did
the
build
time.
perfectly, but it wasn't draining at the beginning.
Yeah.
It wasn't filler to be filled.
I liked the reunion with Tony in the beginning. I thought that was good.
Yeah.
You know, all that stuff there was good. I was shocked as shit that they like killed Thanos right away and did all that. They handled him pretty easily.
But you figure they did that so that the people that actually thought that was going to be the climax of the movie, they're left like 5 minutes into the movie. What's going to happen?
And also, they had time to plan it out. Like she did recon, and he wasn't even thinking about it. His job.
And he was probably about 90% injured.
Yeah. So it should be quickly like bing bang boom.
Fing Fang Foom? Was he in the movie?
Yeah.
He might have been.
Yeah.
Levi, what about your thoughts in the beginning?
I liked it. I was definitely one of those people who was pretty floored by the beginning, expecting that to take like further along. But overall, I think I'd have to agree. It was very well set up, very well done. It got me hooked and on the edge of my seat right from the beginning.
Okay. I think we were all probably shocked that the 5-year gap happened after that. Because we all thought this movie took place like this is 5 years later from what it seemed like. So I was shocked by that. When they went 5 years later, I was like, oh, wow, they like won and sat around for 5 years.
Which is really screwed with like Thor, and when you really get a...
Let's get Thor out of the way. I didn't like Fat Thor.
Yeah, that was
Fat Thor bothered me. I don't understand why he had to get fat and be like, I mean, he's a god. Like, you know, I guess gods can get fat too. Like,
I totally agree. Thor actually, he's been one of my favorite characters throughout this whole 11 years, and what they did to him in this movie kind of bothered me a little bit.
He was like a complete idiot. I don't understand why it hit him that hard over everybody else.
Because he had a shot.
Yeah.
That's to stop it, and he
And he lost more than anybody. He lost his entire, on his watch in the last 2 movies of Thor, his entire race went down to a handful of people.
Yeah.
And then that handful of people got
cut in half. Yeah.
Lost his mom, he lost his dad.
And his brother.
Yeah,
All
his whole
family members.
Yeah. Well, that I don't know about anymore, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just didn't like that he was Fat Thor the whole movie. Like, the running joke kept getting old. Like, you need to eat a salad. Hey, Tubby. Hey, come here, Fatso. I was like, okay, I got it with the fat jokes and all that. It was like a little too much for me.
He's still not as fat as me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I wish I had that money.
Me either, Brock.
but you gotta love it when your mom says you should eat a salad.
And if you remember, the progression of Thor from our first introduction to Thor was that beer on our planet didn't do
really
anything
affect him,
for him,
yeah.
but yet he was.
Well, he was
Beer,
consuming.
Well, he was a lot, but
quantity.
geez, you know,
And he was very
it
depressed.
Yeah.
I did like him playing video games with Korg and Mig. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
So, Logan, did you like Fat Thor?
No.
Paige, did you like Fat Thor?
No, not really. He just kind of was a joke, like in the first.
Alex, how about you with Fat
Didn't really
Thor?
redeem
I
it.
just think it's a big joke. I don't really like it.
It was a little much. I would have liked to have gone with, maybe he could have been the drunken thing, but I don't know. Wearing a fat suit.
I think they were showing different aspects of depression. Like Black Widow got obsessed with trying to find a solution. Like she didn't care about her appearance anymore or anything. She just obsessed with finding a way to undo this.
She was slobby.
Yeah.
And being
Well, she never dyed her hair back.
Yeah,
it
it's like
showed
the-
with her hair, 2 different hair colors. It just grew back.
And then Captain America is trying to take the nurturing side to help other people.
Right.
Iron Man's blaming everybody else. So you're getting all
He
the
went
different.
the family route. He seemed almost pretty content.
Yeah, after the 5 years, he was good.
Yeah, he had a daughter, he had a family, he was happy.
I honestly thought that was going to drag out a little longer. I thought it was going to have to be we have to convince Tony to maybe lose his daughter. Like I've seen that in movies before.
Right.
Like I don't want to lose this.
It seemed to
by
be there was a
fixing
lot of
everything
the convincing.
Yeah.
They had to convince Thor. They had to convince.
Right.
Yeah.
But the thing with Tony was, they really didn't have to convince him. It actually
Yeah.
was in him all along.
Yeah, he
Right.
did himself.
It just had to bubble up to the surface.
Well, it's the way Tony is. Once someone gave him an idea that he couldn't figure out, he obsessed about it until he fixed it.
Yeah.
I feel like the whole Hawkeye stuff, they could have done a whole series of maybe his TV show is going to be what he did in that
That
5
could be.
years. where he's training and doing all that stuff because he had a lot of shit going on. He was taking on
all the underground crime
and everything else. Like that would have been cool to watch.
Yeah, I was also worried about that until he said why he was doing it. 50% of the people died, and all you terrible people got to live.
Yeah.
So
everyone else got Thanos. You get me. I think was the line.
Yeah.
Smart Hulk was amazing.
Let's talk about Hulk. I love Smart Hulk. I mean, I've been a fan of him in the comics for a long time. He was great. I actually felt like he really didn't do much the whole movie. Like he didn't have a big fight scene or anything like that.
Well, I do like the shout out to the Secret Wars cover. Him holding all the ground up while all the superheroes are underneath.
Yeah.
Well, I also liked whenever he's like, "All right, you can smash some stuff." He's like, "Well, I don't really feel like need to have to do it anymore." He's like, "Oh, there's some stuff."
I like when he takes off his shirt. He's like, "I feel like this is gratuitous."
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah.
Levi, did you like Smart Hulk?
I don't know. I was up in the air with it because, like, not having the whole comic book background, being able to see that side of him, I was always used to like the Hulk smash.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like Professor Hulk or whatever he calls himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I was expecting maybe coming in and seeing him like at least learn how to actually fight, but not like the full like balance of the two of them. But overall, I think it worked out. I just wasn't ready for it.
I think when they first showed him, I thought to myself, like, oh, this is going to be, like, hard CGI to pull off.
Yeah.
But, like, after, like, a few minutes, I'm like, this looks like he's, like, completely real.
Yeah.
Like, the CGI with him was so good as it kept going on. It just felt like there was really a guy that was that big and green and was walking around hanging out with
What bugged me about it is they didn't do anything to Mark Ruffalo's voice. Like they should have found like a middle ground.
Like made it like a Batman.
Yeah,
voice.
something
Yeah.
like.
You should have talked to Christian Bell.
It's just something different because he's supposed to be the two. But I guess if he's intelligent, he can speak correctly.
Speak normal
Yeah.
and everything.
Speaking of good CGI, I thought the way they made Tony sickly and all skinny and stuff in the beginning was fantastic.
Yeah.
You couldn't tell it wasn't him.
How about what happened to Hulk's arm?
Yeah, and it's not healing quickly. Like it's serious stuff.
Do you want to say something about Hulk, Alex?
Yeah. And another side note on that: if they did if Black Widow is dead, who would control Hulk? Because Black Widow and Hulk have that relationship.
Well, he's smart now, so
I don't think he needs
if
to be
he kept that Hulk, like that angry Hulk,
That's true. That's why they made him
keep
smart.
Hulk controlled.
All right.
He needs to be controlled.
So we have the Hulk.
The only thing I didn't like about Hulk, Smart Hulk, is they really didn't give any resolution to why the Hulk wouldn't come out.
Yeah,
in
there was
Infinity War.
nothing there.
Yeah.
He said we went through some things, but he never really said
it
what.
It was quick, and it was a big part of the whole first part.
Him being
of
afraid.
Infinity War.
I think it was a big part of the first part, but I also think that they addressed it without having to have that slowdown in pacing.
Right.
I mean, for us comic book nerds, we want to see that density.
Yeah.
But for the casual viewer or someone who hasn't read the canon, this was the perfect sort of just gloss over and move on.
Yeah, because he said he beat me as both Hulk and as Banner, so we had to combine the two.
Speaking for someone, I'll speak for Mindy, who doesn't read comic books. She was utterly confused about this movie. I go, what she thinks? She's like, I have no idea what happened.
She was completely lost.
I do want to say something about Smart Hulk. I like the way when they're sitting in the diner eating, and the way he described it when he was like, all this time I thought it was like a disease that I had the cure, but instead I just embraced it, and then that's how he got there.
Yeah.
I agree.
Instead of him fighting it, he just kind of embraced it. And
He was great. He was good. I liked that he was chosen to wield the gauntlet because he thought he could survive it.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about the time travel plan. The main part of this movie is the time traveling.
The time traveling aspect of this movie.
This
is what
bothers you, so go
kept
ahead.
me from thoroughly enjoying putting this movie.
Me too.
At the top.
Me too.
Because I'm the same way in comic books. And it might be because I'm that way in comic books. It's overdone in books.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
So, I know it's not overdone in the cinematic universe, but because I've got that prejudice against the time traveling in books, this one bothered me because they tried to re-explain everything we've been told in movies and books, that you can't mess with the past, by saying it doesn't work. That's not everything you've learned in movies is false. Okay, well, I have to retrain myself in the middle of this movie.
It's completely confusing too, and they contradict themselves.
I'll be honest though, the way Banner explained it when he was talking to the Ancient One, it actually made sense to me.
Yeah, with
so
a visual.
I actually liked
it. Took a visual.
Explain it to me. Explain it because I feel like they contradicted themselves multiple times with that.
Here we go.
Basically,
quantum physics with Justin.
No, I'm not going to go that deep. I can't go that deep into it. It's just it makes sense that you really aren't going into the past because your future becomes your past. I don't know. It just clicked in my head. It made sense to me. And the fact that when they take the stones back to the exact moment they were taking, it erases timelines. You know, the alternate futures. It made sense to me.
Okay.
So if you, Don Biordi, go back in time, your future is continuing as you go back in time.
Right.
So
even though I'm not there.
Yeah, because it's not about the timeline. It's about you yourself.
Okay.
And that's what they were saying. Like, their timeline is following you. Your timeline follows you. Doesn't follow the actual time itself.
Okay.
So that's why they were able to do go back in time and then go back to put.
So why didn't all the interactions that they had? Wouldn't that screw up the future?
What interactions did they have where they were? There's only one.
Cap fought himself.
He thought he was Loki.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, but I mean,
because that's why they had him turn into Captain America upstairs.
All right, that makes sense.
There's only one thing that will screw all this up, and that's Loki got the Tesseract.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
which would change a lot of the future.
Well,
doesn't also killing Thanos change the entire future because now he's not there anymore?
He came forward. Yeah.
He came from 2014 to the future. And then they killed him.
Well, they didn't necessarily kill him.
But they're going forward from the future.
They could have put him back in the same.
Well, even if they put him back, he's going to have that knowledge of everything he just went through.
No, because
Tony dusted him.
But Tony dusted him.
Well, if he dusted him, then he's not there to do the whole the rest of the movie.
No, but what you learn. But remember what Thanos wanted to do. Thanos wanted to actually, basically, kill everyone and then erase all the memories. So the idea is that if Tony wanted to do that, he was going to do that and erase all the memories.
They didn't explain any of that he's erasing memories. And I don't think he dusted them back to 2014. And where did Gamora go?
Gamora ran off.
I think she got dusted.
No, I think she got dusted because she was from that timeline.
I agree.
It's very confusing that... I don't know, it's so confusing. This is why I hate time travel. This is why I didn't want the main plot of this movie to involve time travel, because it makes it so all these questions like Loki's going to completely change everything. He got away, so he's not in jail. Then he's nothing in Thor. So the events of Dark World then don't happen, which changes things.
Because Loki was in jail in Dark World.
Yeah,
when they were there, he was there. Which, I mean,
when you thought.
Go ahead, speak, because you're trying to speak over people. Go ahead.
That was the first thing I noticed would mess up when Loki saw Tesseract, grabbed him, and popped up. I just felt, that completely erases Thor: The Dark World because he was never in jail. It
completely erases a lot of stuff. It changes.
And that also erases Ragnarok.
Yeah,
it changes so much, but nothing happened.
Go ahead.
Bear with me for a second.
All right.
The Tesseract pulled Red Skull out of the timeline and put him into the future. It dropped him off there.
I don't know if in the future, just put him in there. He's been there.
He's been stuck with the Soul Stone
for a year because he said he's been there for centuries.
Yeah. So, what if Loki, knowing the actions that would happen, I mean, he's made multiple copies of himself.
Yeah.
If he took the Tesseract from that point with himself, replaced himself with a duplicate, and then has just been hiding out, and he comes back somehow.
But I mean, if he takes the Tesseract's supposed to end up in Asgard.
The Tesseract has to go back to 1970.
No, they just
yes,
stole
it does.
They stole him from 1970.
Well, he returned. Well, that Tesseract wasn't the one from the 70s. There's almost two Tesseracts.
The Loki,
Tesseract,
and because of this, that's why none of this is going to be final. There's no way that this is going to end this way.
You think that people that died aren't going to stay dead, or things that happen aren't going to stay?
It's Infinity Gauntlet.
All right, so here's another confusing scenario. Okay, Captain America at the end, when he decides I'm going to go put everything back, how the hell did he get to the other outer space planets?
He could time with the pin particles. They could jump anywhere.
Yeah, he had unlimited.
No, they had to bring the spaceship with them and go back in time and then fly to those planets.
No, they split. They went to one place
because they only had one jump.
Rhodey and them stayed, and then
I thought
split.
they dropped off Rhodey.
Yeah, but they still had the ship.
So
the Milano shrunk down and took it with him.
Yeah, but he could just bounce from place to place to place because he had no limit.
He doesn't have any time.
Because they were all at the same time.
Right.
Yeah, they had to take the ship with them.
You think he was using a time stone to jump all around?
No,
he was using pin particles.
And it'll take you to other planets?
Yeah, he just chooses. He had unlimited jumps. They kept on referring to the fact that they only had enough to get one
that
round
part
trip.
To me bothered me because it was like they went through a lot of shit with like multiple people to put him back, and he's just gonna go put them all back real easy. Like,
well, he didn't have a time restraint,
and he didn't have anyone hunting them down. In theory, he could just go back.
Yeah, but it would still be difficult. I mean, you show up at the thing and you have to like give the scepter back and get it back in there without being seen.
But that's why
back into Asgard and put it back in Jane
Foster without getting spotted by a ton of Asgard.
And on that whole topic, wouldn't Black Widow come back to life if he exchanged the stone for her?
Exactly. That's what I thought. When he brought it back, wouldn't she then?
No, because they didn't have any concept of time. The Soul Stone doesn't know anything about time.
Well, how do you give the stone back then?
Well, if he gave it back,
it's a soul for a soul.
He gave it back, but he gave it back like it never had taken a soul.
But then wouldn't that bring her back, though?
Yeah, then...
And you're saying it's not going to bring her back.
Well, yeah.
She does have a movie coming out.
She does have a movie. She could be back. That is true.
I think it's a prequel.
I don't want a stupid prequel.
I think it's a 5-year Gap movie, like 4 other ones we're going to get.
Gap movies. We're going to get Gap movies now.
We're going to get Gap movies out of this.
That's annoying.
We're going to get...
So, all right, well, that kind of makes sense. Maybe Captain... He brought the hammer back and all that.
Yeah.
But they mentioned, it's going to take him as long as it does, but it'll be 5 seconds.
No, I understood that. It probably took him... Maybe they'll make a movie where Captain America returning everything and all the shit he goes through.
Probably. Yeah. Because he's got to take Thor's hammer back to that same time period.
Yeah.
That would make a great Disney Plus series.
Did the time traveling bother you? Because me and you said before this movie, if this movie was going to involve a ton of time traveling, we were going to be annoyed. I was annoyed by the time traveling. Were you annoyed by it?
I was annoyed by the time traveling, but the way that they explained it, I didn't want them to go back to like the battle in New York and then just fight Thanos there, or like the fact that they had to get what they needed to do and come back because nothing was going to actually be erased.
Yeah,
it still gave levity for all the other situations going on.
Okay.
And the other thing I liked was that they limited the time travel for the mission by saying that they had to use the PIM particles. They had a finite supply of the PIM particles, so it wasn't like they could just have endless tries. They had so many shots at getting it right, and they were able to make it happen.
Okay.
It wasn't like just a regular time machine where they could be like, oh, well, crap, we screwed that up. Let's go back again.
It wasn't hot tub time machine.
Yeah.
A lot of good references there with the time travel stuff. Yeah. The time travel just it like hurts my head.
It's too convenient.
It is. It made it easy. I wish you have a question, Alex. Yes, real quick.
It's not a question, but I don't really like the time travel, but I like the way they explained it.
Okay, it was explained well. Levi, did you like the time traveling? Did it hurt your brain?
It was definitely a little confusing. There was like parts from like they could have executed other plans that probably could have worked way better if you have that to your disposal.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know.
Why don't they just go back?
Too hard to say. It was too much of a major plot.
And have Thor go for the head.
Exactly. There's a lot of things.
Right.
You can just go
and to
back
be honest
and hit
with
him
you,
before he gets
of
the
the
first
time,
one.
we knew there was going to be time travel. There's a time stone. So,
which they did not use the time travel once.
Yeah, right. So
even though they got it first,
my expectations for time travel were we knew it. I didn't think it was going to be to that extent.
Yeah.
I thought it was like we're going to go right to Wakanda when he comes through, and we're going to be ready for him at that point in time to take the glove.
Yeah.
Or we're going to go stop Quill from punching him in the face. On Titan,
there was a lot of moments
that
it felt like you could have done that instead of having to go get them all and make a
Right.
Stark Gauntlet, which I feel like the Stark Gauntlet's just to sell toys.
We said like on the way here, we're like, how long till we see a Stark Gauntlet?
Yeah, they're going to probably be in stores tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't care. I loved it.
I also think that we're looking at it as one thing, but as the story, as a comic book reader, we have a thought that like this is a story going on. I also feel like as the writers and directors, this is the end to this story.
Yes.
And to pay homage to everything that's happened throughout the lineage of the movie,
right.
Yeah.
that's why they did this much time travel.
Okay.
So you can go back and connect with Natalie Portman.
Yeah.
And you can connect with other people
That makes sense.
forget names.
That makes
like,
sense.
as comic book readers, I don't think a lot of people are going to like that, but I think as moviegoers, they're going to enjoy that this is the end of the story.
It's
like
the
the
comic
credit
book
scene.
equivalent of the flashback.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what they did with the end credit scene, where like they showed like everyone who was really in all the Marvel.
It was the
movies.
wrap up of all this,
They
and
showed
all that
everyone
was
who
well
was-
done.
Now we get the age of the little kid that lives in North Carolina from Iron Man 2.
Yeah, we do. We get him becoming Nova or whatever they want to turn him into. So let's talk.
Iron Man Jr.
So we got past the time stuff,
Iron Man.
and you get to the fight. So going into that fight, first of all, Ant-Man's dead when that missile hits.
Yeah, right.
In the window.
Right.
He
I
shrunk.
don't care if you shrunk or what you did.
Right.
You're freaking dead. I mean, it like exploded right in his face. I'm like, he's got to be dead. I don't know
thought they
how
all died.
Ant-Man survived that explosion. So, Justin, you want to tell me how Ant-Man survived that explosion?
The birds.
Yeah. Plot convenience.
Well, how about this one?
That's how you knew Black Panther was back.
How did Thanos get all his army to the past? Or the future, I mean.
They were all in
They
that
were all in the
ship,
ship.
I guess, but it was.
But she had one Pym particle back to get Nebula back.
That's true because he brought like the flying Chitauri and all that stuff. I don't
he had no time stone or any or the power.
Sure, I didn't think about that one
Yeah,
shit.
he brought
Yeah.
an entire
Yeah,
He
invasion.
got the whole crew.
Where to get Pym particles to travel in time with? He had no stones.
You only had the one.
No, Nebula brought him through, remember?
Yeah, but she had one
Whatever
Pym
she did
particle.
with her
Yeah.
fingers in that computer.
Yeah, maybe she
When the ship
Yeah.
shot out through the...
Maybe when she was using
Or-
magic fingers.
was able to
Or-
send Pym particles to the future.
Or they were able to replicate the Pym particles.
That makes
Now that makes a whole another can because who replicated them? Is there anything left?
Well,
Is there going to be?
Ebony Maw. I'm going to assume Ebony Maw.
I just think again that's
Yeah,
more-
because that could have been years and years he was building that
I
army.
think it's more plot convenience shit
Yeah.
too. They wanted the whole army there so you could
But
have the.
yeah, it made
battle,
no
but
sense.
Oh, what I say earlier today, I wanted the plot convenience of time travel to see all the ebony, all the
And they were all there. They were all back. They
Yep.
were all back in full force. So the big battle.
Where was
scene,
Ronan?
Yeah, Ronan wasn't in this movie at all.
He was.
He got talked about.
They mentioned
Yeah.
They mentioned him, but they were thick as thieves at that time.
they mentioned that he found a stone. Yeah.
He said it's something about if he doesn't, he'll go and kill him if he doesn't give it to him or something.
So let's talk about the first part of the big battle where you have Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor.
Whoa, hold on a second. Hold on. Wait a minute. He said that in that movie he said he had the Power Stone, but he didn't get the Power Stone until
No, he was going for it.
Oh, okay. I was just saying.
He
Till
found Morag. He knew where it was. But yeah, he didn't have it yet.
Yeah,
I was gonna be like, how did he have it? And then Peter Quill was also dancing his way towards
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
like the beginning of.
But that showed
Guardians
some
of the Galaxy.
dissension in that team there already because Gamora knew about it. It seemed like Nebula knew about it, and they didn't really want to tell Thanos.
Yeah.
Because even then, I think they wanted to prevent
Yeah.
it from happening.
Nebula had an interesting.
I was
I like
surprised.
Nebula in the movie.
I
I
was
thought she was
surprised
good.
she
Except
got
the
as
part where
much.
she shoots her past self through the chest and is somehow still able to
Yeah, there's another
alive.
time travel thing. She killed herself in the past. Wouldn't that she instantly start not existing then?
No.
Not the way Banner explained it, Justin.
Yeah, no. You
Not the way Banner.
Science time with Justin. Science time with Justin.
This is confusing. This is
Quantum physics time. With
this is as confusing as other time travel movies when they do stuff like that. Create new timelines.
Time for Back to the Future.
All right, so let's get to the beginning part of that fight because that had my favorite moment in it.
What the beginning of what fight?
When, for me, I always wanted to see Captain America pick up Thor's hammer. When the hammer was no longer around, I thought, well, you're not going to see that.
Yeah.
It's just not. They're never going to do that in the movies, which I was disappointed. As soon as I saw them like. Oh, they brought the hammer back. I'm like, I have a feeling. It's coming. Like, why are they bringing that hammer back? There's really no reason for it, other than for that scene that nerds like me who love Captain America been wanting to see. So I thought that scene was absolutely, like,
I love that.
cinematically brilliant.
It was
it was so
amazing.
good. When
And the one shot when he brought the lightning down was ripped right from the comics. The pose and everything
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
perfect.
and he was just battling him with the hammer, calling back to it and everything. Like he had complete control.
What weird, like through the shield, through the hammer off the shield.
He was playing like.
Who cares? It was fantastic.
Right. That was a great fight with those three. I mean, Thanos, you could see there like how much more powerful he was when he wasn't injured.
Yeah,
because he was kicking their ass. And they had
They still
hammers.
should have beaten them.
He should have been able to.
He even had a boomerang sword.
He did have a boomerang sword. Then he could spin so fast too, and like block fire with it and everything.
I enjoyed whenever it got totally destroyed. Then he calls back to lead his troops, and it's in his hand. I'm like, that's some editing mistakes right there. He did not have two of
They
those
brought
swords.
two.
Cap's shield got destroyed.
Which I thought was sad.
Now, I mean, again, for a Captain America fan, this was just like Captain America porn for me. I mean, he picked up the hammer, then he stood there like alone in the battlefield, tighten his broken ass shield, like he's gonna take them all on himself. That scene where they show you like an entire army and him on the horizon, then you hear Falcon's voice. Like Sarah kept looking at me, I was like, "Don't look at me. I'm not getting emotional over here." And he said, they give the line on your left. I like that they did all the classic lines.
Yeah.
Oh my god, when Panther walked out, I was like, ah,
The Panther walking out of that thing was freaking
So
awesome.
cool.
I was disappointed M'Baku wasn't with them.
He was in one of the scenes.
He came later, but he should have been with that crew.
He came after, but that was cool. Panther, then everyone flying out, and
when Spidey came in, you just heard Logan.
I screamed, "Oh F yeah!"
When Spidey came swinging in, so I was like, ah!
that was great. That was the scene I think we all were hoping for.
Well, it's
really
the
was.
payoff. It's like the embodiment of that poster over there. Every hero
Yeah.
lined up for battle.
Did anybody have a problem with anything in that battle?
There's only one thing I wanted from that battle.
What?
In the Infinity Gauntlet comic book, everyone else is dead, and it's Captain America staring at Thanos. And he goes, "Why do you keep fighting? You've been defeated." He goes, "As long as one person stands up to you, you haven't won yet."
They
and I was
kinda
waiting,
did that.
and I wanted that, but I was.
They kind of did that when he stood up alone, tightened a broken ass shield, and stared him down.
Yeah.
They
Finally
kinda,
got an Avengers assemble.
Yeah.
Where I
Oh
kept
my
thinking he's gonna say it. He's gonna say it.
Oh my
It looks like
god,
he's
he
gonna
just
say
slipped
it.
in and went, oh no.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people.
That was pretty cool. There was a lot of good stuff. The giant man popping out of the ground. With
Just
them.
huge,
Definitely
just
punching that
yeah.
Chitauri thing in the face. I personally loved Scarlet Witch in that fight. I thought she kicked ass.
Scarlet
Yes.
Witch, they took her up a level in that. They showed her what she can really do.
How powerful she really
She's
is.
not. When she went, you took everything from me, and he's like,
Yep.
I don't even.
And
know
they
who you
used
are.
that too. They didn't bring the Vision back. They
I'm shocked
used
that they didn't bring Vision
they
back.
used her anger to really showcase her.
Do you think the WandaVision TV shows where we're going to find out how they bring Vision back?
Yep.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Which
I think it's going to
Suri's
be in the
now-
past.
Wait.
Which-
Go ahead. Talk to them.
I think it's another one. I think it's going to be in the past.
You think it's going to be in the past?
There's some headlines going around that this is supposed to be like a 50s style noir. I think somehow they're going into the past.
That would
Well,
make sense.
so if it's a 50 style noir, it's probably going to be like the Vision Scarlet Witch Max series from the 80s.
So what are they going to do? More time travel? That would be stupid.
They're going to do their meetups when those 2 years when they were separate teams.
I really hope that's not the case. I mean,
It's a love
bring
story.
him back into the universe. Give him some kind. Whatever
Right.
Suri made, obviously was going to work.
Or
in
they're
his
just going to
head.
put her with the X-Men.
Yeah,
That's true too.
That'd be so cool.
But I was surprised there was no Vision in this. I was really surprised the lack of Captain Marvel in this movie.
Me too.
Yeah, especially at the beginning of that battle scene.
Yeah.
I was like, okay,
Well, that's for the big.
Where's
reveal.
Carol?
yeah, right. I mean,
But if they power her up as much as we assume they did, this is the way to make it balanced and actually.
it took the Power Stone for her to take a hit.
Yeah.
Right.
When she came in through that, like through the horizon, the ship started shooting at her. She came in.
That was a great
ship
scene.
Under 5 minutes.
I
was
love the
like,
way
oh,
she
hell
looked
yeah.
too. Her hair was great. It was
Should
total.
have had the full mask with the mohawk thing going on, though. I think.
I like
Coming
what I like is the whole like when Scarlet Witch was talking to them, they had that like council. I hope you see more of that in future movies, where like Carol's in space.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I thought that was neat. Like
You
they're
get a
all,
woman's team like that because.
Oh, they're definitely doing that.
because of the scene.
well, how about the woman saying?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's definitely
That
another
was
movie.
great.
Thank
It was
you,
great when
Justin.
all of them started assembling together.
I kept saying, "Is there no men around?" While that's happening,
They're all
so it
female.
happens. All the women,
Tom Holland was like the only guy in that scene. He was like in the back.
and they all lined up for one big female shot.
No, but I really-
Wasp was like, "Oh, I'm here in the front too."
I like the Spidey kill protocol too.
He finally
He
activated
finally
it.
learned how to use the suit.
yeah.
All the arms just started
Yeah.
poking the thing.
They just held on to the gauntlet, and everything else got the spider tentacles all.
Yeah, there
through
was
it.
so much in that battle. I think it was probably one of the best like superhero battle scenes I've ever seen.
for sure.
Thanos pulling the Power Stone off of the glove to use in the other hand to knock out I was like, that's great.
Yeah, that was great. He was making some moves.
It took that to not, because he tried to hit her once and she just stayed like staring him down. Like she was strong in that movie.
So let's get to the deaths. Let's start with Iron Man. I said before this movie going in, I was going to be pissed off if they killed Iron Man, which I am pissed off that they killed Iron Man, but they really did a good job of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then his scene was so meaningful.
So emotional.
The way he got the stuff out of it and put it in his own Iron Man gauntlet, and that was real cool. I just sad to see him go. I'm going to miss him because I thought
he was the quintessential Tony Stark.
I don't think he's truly gone. And I think he's dead.
Yeah.
But I feel like you're going to see the holograms of him.
Oh, he's going to be the new Iron Man's.
Yeah.
He's gonna be like
Friday.
Jarvis.
Yeah, he's going to be the new Jarvis.
Like popping up in these holograms everywhere.
Yeah.
It'll be his voice in the helmet.
Talking to his daughter.
Guy,
Like, hey, if this ever happens.
Do you think his daughter's going to become like Ironheart?
Not until what's his name from Iron Man 2 becomes Iron Man next.
Oh, you think he's going to be an
Iron
Man?
Lad,
Iron Lad.
Iron Boy.
Iron Boy.
They set up the Young Avengers pretty well in this movie.
They really did.
They did with Cassie Lang and everything. The Iron Man death scene was touching. It was tough.
Especially bringing. I did too. Especially bringing
almost
Peter
cried.
Parker in there, especially when they brought Peter.
Well, he was sort of surrounded by his people.
Yeah.
His
Rhodey
side
was
of the
there. Peter.
show. We talked about Widow. I was kind of disappointed that they killed her. As soon as I didn't think about the Soul Stone, but as soon as they were like, we're going after these stones, I thought in my head like, well, whoever goes after the Soul Stone, someone's gonna die. And I'm like, someone's gonna die. And then they're like, it's Hawkeye and Widow. I'm like, ah, shit. Like it's gonna be one of them. And then I'm like, he has a
movies or
yeah.
something.
I'm like, well, Hawkeye
It's like,
has a TV show. She has a movie. Like, shit, it's gonna be one of them.
My problem with that scene is I don't understand why that worked. Because the sacrifice is supposed to be whatever you love the most, and he didn't. I mean,
well, they didn't say what you love the most. They said whatever you love, and those two do love each other.
And he doesn't have his family
pretty
anymore.
sure
That's-
love the
that's his
most,
family,
but
man.
Like not necessarily
I
romantic,
have to
but
agree with Justin. I thought in Infinity War,
In Infinity
it was what
War,
you
they
loved the
said
most.
what you cherish the most.
Right.
This time around, Red Skull didn't say that because I was waiting to hear that, and he said you have to give up something that you love. It's a soul for a soul.
Yeah, and
they
it was
changed
like, okay, this isn't going to
Yeah.
work. 'cause,
I
he
didn't
loves
understand
his
why
kids
it
and his
worked.
wife.
But I
That
didn't
was
really
the
think
only
you could
nitpick thing I had.
kill yourself either. Like you have to chuck someone over there.
Right.
You have to sacrifice something, and she just jumped on her own.
Like
So if
if
you're a
Rocket
total
would have won, he
narcissist,
could have
you
thrown
can't
his
get it.
gun. You know, that's why I was like, oh, Rocket's going to throw his gun over. That's his gun.
God.
Now, I was kind of confused by that scene, but I kind of when it came down into my mind, I like made a choice. I was like, all right, Hawkeye can go. Like, don't kill Black Widow.
did the same
And then like when I saw him jumping over, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be Hawkeye, and I'm like, damn it. Now it's gonna be
I'm gonna miss Black Widow. I'm really sad that they killed her.
She ain't dead. She's in the stone. So she ain't dead.
You think they're in the stone? That's where they
Who
go.
all do you think is in the stone? Just Gamora and Widow?
Yeah.
Or anybody who's ever had it.
And their past sacrifices.
And Adam Warlock. You're not going to see them come back until the Adam Warlock situation's fixed.
And he gets the Soul Stone and releases them.
in Guardians.
That's right. That's one. That's
Yeah.
one. That's one of the plot lines they didn't resolve.
He's
Yeah.
there at the end of Guardians 2. He's there.
Yeah. And he's the Soul Stone. He's connected to it. He just travels.
He can go in the Soul World. and all
Yeah, that's where they're at. They're in the Soul World.
All right, so that
They're in
explains.
Fartenheim.
That takes care of Widow. We really think Iron Man's gone.
Yes.
Let's talk about Captain America. He's obviously dead. I hated.
No, he's old man Cap.
I hated that.
I hated it too.
I hated that. When he didn't come back right away, I'm like, Captain America's gonna be trapped in time. Like they're gonna do maybe a movie where he's trapped in World War II, and then here's where my mind went. I'm like, and then Wolverine can be there this time around, and like you know he can have him and Wolverine in World War II with Sabretooth, and then I was like, don't be that old guy on the bench. Don't be that
Well,
old
when
guy.
when I saw the person on the bench, I looked at it and I'm like, he went back and undid the serum.
I know. I thought it was
because
Skinny
I thought it was
Steve.
Skinny Steve
Yeah.
at first. I'm like,
I thought he went back and
how did this work? And then
I thought it was
old
Iron Man. I thought he went back and saved Tony.
No, I knew it was him. I saw the thing next to him, like this is gonna be him, and then, I mean, I've said this before in many shows. Again, I can't stand Falcon Captain America. I've never liked it. It should be Bucky. And I don't. As soon as he said, "Go ahead, Sam," I'm like, God damn it!
Yeah, and I think that was almost like up to that point. Even the writers were like, "Okay, we can use Bucky or we can use Sam," and they probably
flip the coin.
I don't understand why they were both so adamant that it has to be Sam when Bucky's standing right there.
Because Bucky's been evil before. He's had mind control issues.
He has red on his ledger.
He's got red on his ledger. He can't be a symbol of purity, for the United States.
He was in the comics.
And Bucky could use that shield.
But not for very long. Listen, just because your dad corrupted you with this metal arm throwing bullshit.
That is not bullshit. If you remember in a comic book when Nick Fury gave Bucky that shield, he said, "You're one of the only people on this planet that can handle it because of your arm, because it's supposed to be that it takes to throw it and to be able to catch it coming back. You got to have strength. You can." And if you've ever read Avengers with Falcon Captain America, he never uses it. He flies around in the air with it. He doesn't throw it. He doesn't do anything. Sam Wilson, I love his Falcon, is the worst effing Captain America in the comic. He's terrible. His outfit's stupid. He was a horrible Captain America. It was just something that they did. Like, Sam Wilson. I never even knew why an established character like him, where I'm like, I'm the Falcon, I'm this established character. I want to be you. I'm gonna dress like you and be you. Like, it's not in his lineage.
It's different. He
was never Cap's sidekick. He was his partner. It's different.
Bucky was the sidekick.
Go ahead.
It's a different Sam Wilson from the comic book.
This one doesn't talk to birds.
This one doesn't talk to birds. He's just got tech. He's just a guy. I understand your theory with the arm thing, but I'll give it a chance.
I just feel like Bucky deserved it. He was his best friend in the book. It was his sidekick. It was like his guy, I don't know.
But I mean, if you're going to go that way, then why not introduce U.S. Agent?
Because U.S. Agent sucks. and Bucky Cap is awesome. If you've ever read Avengers, the new Avengers team where Bucky Cap leads them, it's great. I mean, go read it and tell me that it's not great. It's a great series, especially when he has the machine gun in one hand and the shield in the other, and Wolverine even says, "You're the best version of Captain America I've ever seen." He's like, "You just shot that guy?" And he was like, "I love this Captain America." That would play out great. And I read all the Sam Wilson Captain Americas and never found anything great about it. It was always like seemed forced. And he never really did anything with it. It was always just him flying with it on his hand. He didn't throw it. He didn't use it like it was supposed to be used.
I think Old Man Cap is still... There's still the ability to bring Cap back with Old Man. They did it in the comics.
I mean, I'd go back in time for Peggy Carter. She's kind of hot, but not...
He had a happy ending. He got what he wanted.
He did get a good ending, which is good. He got what he wanted. I wanted him, like we talked about before, to be like the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. And be around.
When Nick Fury's back now.
They can re-age him, though. They can de-age him because they did it to Scott Lang like 10 times.
True. Yeah.
That's true. They did do that. They could always put him in that and de-age him. I think...
Maybe bring Peggy with them, too.
I think Evans is done.
I think he's done now, but there are ways to make him come back.
Yeah.
And Tony can come back through his holograms.
I think Evans wants to move on.
Well, he would move on, but I mean, they can be in supporting roles and not.
Yeah. Well, I definitely think now that I don't know if you'll see a Sam Wilson Captain America movie.
I don't think so.
I think that TV show is going to be him with the Shield as a version of it with Winter Soldier, the two of them as a team, which fighting Hydra.
You got your Guardians 3 set up.
So let's talk about that. What do you think about Thor joining the Guardians?
That's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Since that's the new comic book that's out.
Well, I also think that the way that the progression of Thor, the movie's got a little bit campier, a little bit funnier. That fits in with that team.
Yeah.
Should we fight with knives?
Fight with knives. Yes, please fight with knives.
Yes, please fight with knives.
So who's happy to see him in Guardians 3? What do you think, Mark?
I think it'll be a good... And it gives them a big power boost because they didn't really have anybody before him.
Right. They had very weak power sets.
Now they have a god.
They can kill Drax off because then they have a strong guy now on the team.
Yeah.
So Drax can go follow what's-his-face, Peter Gunn.
The only thing I'm worried about for that is the interaction between him and Quill. That's still just from the last movie to this, it annoys the shit out of me. Quill's the insecurity in the way he acts between him and Thor, it just bothers me.
Like,
and I'm worried that they're really going to play that up.
Until Peter Quill saves Thor somehow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Or vice versa.
Do you think that he'll just stay as Fat Thor for the Guardians movie?
No, I think whenever the next one comes out,
he's a short hair.
He'll be working out with Drax. I don't know if he'll have short hair.
No, I think he's
I like the
long
braided
hair and
beard.
beard now.
Yeah.
I think that they established the braided beard and the hair.
Yeah.
That's more
Well, he's
Odin-esque.
It looks.
I mean, it looks like Old Man Thor in the books now.
I tell you what, that scene, like, I thought for sure Thor was going to end in being like the god of New Asgard or whatever. When he passed it on to her, I'm kind of like, oh great, now he's going away too. Like, I'm like, wow, he's not going to be around. And then I'm like, oh shit, he's going to get on the ship. Like, I want to see Guardians of the Galaxy, because I was kind of down on like 2. I thought sucked. I'm like, I'm like, Thor with them. Like, all right, this is a movie now.
He turns around, Rocket's like, you coming? Like, let's go.
Because him and Rocket together are great.
Right.
I love him
Right.
and
Rocket was great in that movie.
Rocket
And they
was
have to go figure out Xandar and Nova and
they have to,
Warlock and all that.
They're obviously searching for Gamora too.
Yep.
and they also have all the past information of what's happened in all the last 22 movies.
Yeah.
Because he's pretty much instilled with that while they were all off planet. He has all that information that they can reference to maybe try to undo some stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it was cool. That was one of the better moments of me when I thought of the film when I saw, and it dropped the Asgardians of the Galaxy, which is the current comic book title.
Because they had that pretty much with no, I don't know, end credit scene. That's the setup. That was the setup right there.
Well, that and Tony's funeral.
Yeah.
Why do you think Tony's funeral was?
Oh my God! It had everyone standing in their groupings.
Like Captain Marvel standing alone.
Yeah, Nick Fury in the back. It was very wasn't Colby Smulders there too?
Yeah, she was.
They were all like in their different variations.
Here's everybody teamed up.
Yeah.
Okay. The shot before they got to Colby and everyone on
Colby
the
Jack
stairs,
Cheese.
there was the lone kid.
It's the kid from Iron Man
That's the
2.
kid from
That was
Iron
Iron Man
Man
2 kid. Okay.
Yeah.
That's Nova.
That's Harley or whatever his name was.
Harley, yeah.
Harley Quinn.
And the third one. They've been saying for years that he's going to be Nova or whatever. I see now him as like doing some kind of
I
Iron
see
Lad.
it, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, some kind of
You know we're on a podcast, guys. You can just talk to all of us. You don't have to whisper amongst yourselves.
side conversation. All right, so post-credit scenes, there were none. I was surprised by that.
What is there going to set up?
Spider-Man, the next Spider-Man.
No,
or-
it's drop the mic and leave. Endgame is done. It's 22 years in the making.
Really was
They set up Spider-Man 2 by letting him see his what's his name?
They should have New York City skyline with the Baxter Building.
We were so ever
just
since the Fox
something-
merger, I've been wanting
something
something
like that.
Fox related with the Baxter Building or Galactus or the Surfer. I mean, there was a lot of talk before this movie that Thanos necessarily isn't really the big bad. There's another big bad that's going to be introduced in this movie. That was obviously a lie. Mm-hmm. Or did I miss something? I didn't.
I think this movie was a movie of possibilities, based on the Fox deal that was on, off. The way they crafted this, you could have gone 5 different ways.
Yeah.
I mean, when they talked about finding the big brain, that could have been Xavier, that could have been Reed Richards.
It was the Hulk. They found the big brain. It was the Hulk.
But my point is, it could have been any one of those 3.
Yeah.
Were you were worried before this movie them killing Thanos? Are you mad that he's gone?
He's got killed with the gauntlet. It doesn't matter. It doesn't.
Well, but future Thanos got his head chopped off. So in their timeline, in regular timeline,
He's dead twice.
He's dead twice.
In the comic book, Drax has ripped out Thanos' heart through his ribcage, and he's an Eternal. He comes back to life.
Yeah, he comes back to life.
It does.
No one's ever really dead then, or is what we're saying then.
It's the comic book. There's no one's ever dead.
I guess it's probably like your contract's over for some of these people, so we'll kill you. If you want to come back, we'll pay you more money. We'll find
I don't think they can go back.
Yeah.
They can't go back to Thanos, though.
I don't think they need to go back to him as a big bad. I just didn't want them to kill him off because, like,
That's the MO.
yeah.
Every villain, whenever you beat them, they have to be
Maybe
killed.
if Galactus is your next big villain moving forward,
They need Thanos to help.
Thanos
defeat
comes and talks to the Eternals about him.
Death comes back. Death brings him back.
Yeah, it could. Yeah,
And the stones are still in play. Like, they put them back, so...
Yeah.
They put him back, but again, in the future, he blew them all up. So again, I don't... Because in our timeline, the future timeline, he destroyed them all. They're all gone.
but you
He
can't
did put them back in place so they could be destroyed.
Well, in the comic book, they can never really be destroyed.
Yeah.
And he said that he destroyed him. He destroyed him down to a molecular level.
And they always come back.
But
Maybe they
that's-
regenerated.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, on a quantum level.
The time shit in this movie really confuses you.
Yeah.
Because when you sit there and say, well, these gone, I'm like, no, wait, that was in the... No, wait, that was in the bad...
You gotta get a big blank wall and some line for each color stone and just track it.
And track it all. Line it all out.
Nothing's impossible whenever they deal with the Infinity Gauntlet.
All right. So where do we see the future of these movies going? Do you think you'll ever see another Avengers movie?
Yes.
With different people, though?
I do.
I think it's going to be an all-female team.
They really got to go to all female. They can't have... Ant-Man can't be in there and Strange or any of these other people.
I think it's going to happen.
I think they're going to call that their A-Force movie, like her team, Carol's team in the comic, or Alpha Flight or whatever she had. A-Force. You don't think we'll see another male Avengers team with...
Not first. I think they'll do a female one first, and then they'll go back to mixed gender.
I think our actual timeline, our this time that we're in right now, won't allow it. I mean, by the time they set everything up to do what they want to do, Robert Downey Jr. is going to be aged out of Iron Man. Yeah. Everybody's going to be aged out of this, and hopefully they don't. We're relying on CGI a lot now to de-age.
Well, they have all the replacements lined up already,
pretty
much.
But I don't think. I think this franchise in and of itself.
I mean, Panther's young.
Don't recast. There's plenty of other stories to just keep going.
Yeah.
They brought in Triathlon, Dr. Druid. Brother Voodoo. There's plenty of Avengers.
Speedball.
The Living Laser.
The Living Laser's great.
We're gonna see, like Brock said, we're gonna see a female Avengers team up, and we'll see the new quote unquote Avengers. I think they'll do as the Young Avengers. I don't see us for many years seeing another real Avengers movie. It'll be some form either of all-female team up or the Young Avengers.
Well, I hope we see a Fantastic Four movie where they battle a big bad and call on other heroes to help them out, and that's where you see them meeting in.
Yep.
For all that is holy, please do not give it female Ghostbusters treatment.
Hey,
no, because they have good female characters.
They have great female characters.
We reviewed that pretty well.
We did.
And we regretted it.
It's our first movie.
I've seen Avengers versus X-Men before I'd ever see an Avengers by themselves again.
You think so?
I want to see the Avengers with the X-Men.
I kind of hope they keep the X-Men separate, and there's just cameos from Avengers once in a while. It's in the same universe.
Yeah.
But let them do like they did in the 90s, where they fought their own stuff going on, and no one else got involved. When they were fighting Sinister and Apocalypse, it was just them. Afterwards, Captain America would show up to like arrest the villain and take them away.
Played both sides of the fence.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
You don't need them. You don't need them in there for all the time. They don't have to mix in. They can have their own shit going on that mutants handle mutant problems. That was like their whole reason.
That's how it's always been with them. When it's done well.
Now, whoever they cast as the new Wolverine, I wouldn't mind them seeing him popping up on some crossing over once in a while. All right. Is there anything else you felt we missed covering this movie? Lance has the finger up.
The Stan Lee cameo.
It happened so fast.
The
You
Stan
could
Lee
miss
looking cameo.
Yeah.
Him in the car just buzzing Shield's headquarters. Just.
I thought that was the worst cameo he's ever had in a movie.
It was his last one, too.
Was he computer animated?
Yeah.
For his last movie, I wanted something better from him. A speech.
I thought he was going to be the end
throw the
credit
actors
scene.
at the end, all the people. I thought they were going to have him there,
they should have.
The ending. I was like, why
that
the hell
was
isn't he there?
for Endgame. For the last movie, that was the worst Stan Lee cameo. He just drove by and said something and kept driving.
Yeah.
And it was like, that was
love,
it.
not war.
Yeah.
It made him look younger too, kind of.
If they would have been sitting in the end credits at a drawing table behind Kirby as the one above all, I'd have just you guys would still be screaming me off the floor.
All right.
Hard me out.
So we ready to score this movie? Are we all done? Have we covered everything? Alex, have we said everything about this movie that you thought was cool?
I guess yes.
All right.
One last thing. Another great scene that I liked was when Tony figures out the time travel with his daughter sitting there on the stairs.
Oh, that's cute.
I thought that was a great scene.
It was very heartwarming.
Figured it out in one night.
He did.
He's like, shit.
Look at the brain.
What did we think about Pepper as rescue?
I loved it.
Maybe liked it. I didn't think it. I'm like, he knew it was going to happen. Like,
they foreshadowed it for sure.
And then when his daughter comes out with the helmet on the tent.
She knew how to use that suit pretty good.
She'd used one before.
Yeah, she used it in 3.
Well, I mean, I'm sure the extremis virus really helped her navigate that suit since she had to wear it.
Now, she claims she's done with movies. Do you think she'll be in a female version?
If the money's right. Everyone who says they're done isn't truly done. Everyone has a price.
Cameos, pop-ups.
They got that Disney money.
Yep.
Our new president.
Even she said, like, her contract's done, but she said, if they'll have me back, I'll come back.
But also, if you guys looked at the credits for this movie, the number of digital artists and digital positions far outweighed the number of human actors in the movie. It's eventually we're going to get to the point where if she wants to be in the movie, she could do that and probably shoot all of her scenes in a day, and everything else is CG.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They should have really hired more real Sakarans.
I was glad to see the wizards also show up too.
Yeah.
And like all the Asgardians.
Because everybody had to do the hands with the little shiny circles around it. That was good. Wong and
How
the gang.
long did Doctor Strange have to hold that water back?
Hold that water tornado.
The whole time. The whole battle.
You guys got this. I'll take the water tornado.
Except for when I hold up my one
giant arm
finger
in the
to
bag, I got the
time.
water.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I didn't tell Tony that the end game
Right.
he had to die. 'Cause,
That part was good.
yeah.
I like when he gave him this is the one, and he knew what he had to do. That was good the way they tied that all up.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen a little bit more Doctor Strange in that movie, but
He brought all those people with those portals there. It was a lot of
it
portals.
did portal in a lot of people.
Well, I like whenever Spider-Man's like, then Doctor Strange was back and he said, "Hey, it's been 5 years. Let me go up to this." He's like explaining everything that's going on.
Like 2
And he
seconds.
started making those circles again.
And then he just hugs him, and he just gives him a hug.
this is
like,
nice.
oh, this is nice.
Their reunion, the reunions were great. All the seeing people again, and
Did anybody else miss Ant-Man's buddy? The
Yes.
explainer?
Luis.
Yeah.
I feel like this is going to get re-released with extra stuff, like at the movie theater.
We're gonna have a box set with.
Oh, the
14
DVD
million
set's going to be
alternate
5 hours long.
Yeah, there's going to be
They
a
only
lot.
win one of the 14.
It'll be Lord of the Rings-esque.
all the extra shit.
Yeah.
All right, well there you go. I think we're ready to give it our official movie scoring. For new people here, we score 5 stars. You can give quarters. You can go 5 1/4, 5 1/2, 5 3/4.
Okay.
So let's get the kids out of the way and see what they say. Alex, what do you give it?
I'll give it. What should I do for my ring? I know you can give
Just
all
say
things.
stars. It's fine. Just say
I'll
stars.
give it a full-on 4 3/4 stars.
Okay, Paige.
I'm probably gonna give it like 4.5. I really
Logan.
liked it.
4 stars.
Okay, Levi.
Out of 5 Jeff Goldblums, I'm saying 4.5. Oh, in all honesty, yeah.
Rob.
4 1/4 the script baseball caps.
Brock.
I'll go 4.5 nondescript baseball caps.
Lance.
4.75.
Ooh.
Black one.
Justin.
4.75.
It doesn't get to 5.
I wanted to, but I can't. I wanted to give it 4.9, but you restricted me to quarters.
If you want to go 4.9, go for it.
All right, 4.9.
Then just give
Ooh.
it 5. We're rounding up. You got it.
He gave it a 5. Yeah.
Round it up to the nearest quarter, that's a 5.
I gave Infinity War 4.5. This one I wanted to give higher. The time travel shit kind of bothered me a little bit, so I'll go 4.5. Big guy. Final vote. What is it? What's it get?
I think with my
You
heart
want to
of
see your
hearts-
end?
Yeah,
end
can I
game?
see it?
Yeah, let's see your Avengers score first. Your Infinity War, you were 4.5 on Infinity War.
That's where I'm feeling that now too.
So there you go.
4.5.
4.5.
This will easily be our highest rated
Yeah.
movie.
We all went pretty
And
high.
I think well deserving.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, there were some stuff like you said at the beginning, Brock, nitpicky, but overall, this was really, really well done.
Well, the battle saved so much.
Right.
You know,
It did.
It did.
the battle saved so much. The Avengers assemble, the Cap standing alone on the field, wielding a hammer, calling for a big army. I mean,
The first time he had the hammer in his hand, the theater I was in, the whole theater erupted.
yeah, this theater was clapping. I hate
So
people
many
clapping.
clappers. So many claps.
Spider-Man stepped into the film, everyone just yelled.
Yes, it was very exciting. The whole energy in the theater came up when that scene was on.
Mm-hmm. So, did anyone else feel like this is just a final pimp slap to Warner Brothers? Just to say, go home, just don't do this.
I don't take it that way. I mean, they don't care about Warner.
I don't think so either. They're just counting money.
They're just counting money.
That's true. They're just minting it.
They don't care about any other company because nobody else is really a competition.
Not even Star Wars or anything at this point.
No, it's a joke.
Even though it's the same company.
So, what do you guys think this is going to do this weekend?
I was gonna make like $1 or $2.
I mean, hasn't it already in pre-sales made like close to $1 billion?
No. It's not going to do $1 billion in its opening weekend. It's my guess is ticket sales for this weekend, including tonight, in the U.S. is going to be 306.
What about worldwide?
Worldwide, I think it's already over $1 billion.
Yeah, it's already at 170 worldwide.
Okay. Wow. Well, go see it.
So you figure, what, a week to get $1 billion?
2 weekends. This weekend and next weekend would be $1 billion.
Okay. All right.
It costs $400 million to make.
Look how many people you had to pay, all those actors. It's ridiculous.
All those
This movie changed the movie.
Amen.
It did.
Hallelujah.
It did. I'll say it. It's just the bar is set.
It's a lot
so
to live up
high
to.
now.
It's hard to make a movie like that.
Yep.
You can't make a movie like that just out of the ordinary.
Unless you're Disney.
You'll lose so much
That's
money.
a full. That's a full
The guy who played
season of
Ernest
shows.
Renee
Movie
Russo,
wise.
Michelle Pfeiffer. I mean, the list of A-list actors who had just cameos.
I didn't see Michelle Pfeiffer.
She was at the
She
funeral.
was
at the funeral.
Yeah.
And she winked. She went, "Hey, I can resurrect people. I'm in the quantum realm and I can do cool things."
I can make Captain America young again.
Yeah.
I'm so excited that someone brought that up here because I wasn't thinking that. And I'm like, that's right. With that stuff, you can do that. Like, okay, let's make him young again. Bring him back.
Whenever they need them
You got
young.
the Bang Bang Carter for 70 years, and then he can come back and have a nice life. It's fine.
It's a have your cake and eat it too moment.
Yep.
The first thing my father said to me to walk out, he was like, I go back in time for Peggy Carter. I was like, all right, then. And I'm like, be quiet. There's people in the hallway I haven't heard yet.
All the
I know,
things.
I fucked it up the way I said that. But go ahead.
No, just of all the things, that's what he says. And it ruins the entire ending of the movie.
He's spoiling the whole movie for everybody in the hallway. But he's like,
So
I
many
don't know, I'd go
people
back in time for
cover
Betty Carter. Which is true. You heard it here first, Bob. Yeah, you go back in time for Betty Carter.
Betty Carter.
Betty Crocker. All right, this is the longest YouTube one we've ever done. So there you go.
How long are we at?
Over an hour.
It's going to crash the internet.
So bring it
It's
down.
going viral.
All right, go see it. Tell us what you think, and Ken, take
It's
us
just
out.
a
Please.
podcast, a KFP podcast.
Yep.
Internet.
There was your ending. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
please like, share, subscribe, invite, rate us on iTunes. It helps stuff, I think. And yeah, all right. Thanks.
Later.